All right, guys, welcome back. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but honestly, what better time to come back than for this amazing Resident Evil Requiem Trailer 3 that dropped at the Game Awards? Let's get right into it, because there's a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. The trailer starts with a scene of the supposed main villain sitting in a chair, listening to some old tunes, the same scene we saw in the first trailer. Later on, his name is revealed to be Victor Gideon. He's a scientist with ties to Umbrella, who bought the care center where part of the game takes place. And being former Umbrella, it's pretty clear that he continued his experiments even after the fall of Raccoon City. Going back to that opening scene, Grace opens the door and Victor starts speaking to her, telling her that she's the chosen one. I believe the scene takes place in the hotel, and I think this is also where Grace gets kidnapped and taken to the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center, where she later wakes up upside down in the demo we've all watched about 50 times by now. I'm not completely sure about this, though, because Grace doesn't have her jacket on in this scene. It could be a room in the care center instead, but for now I'm going to assume it's the hotel where her mother dies. Maybe Grace gets into an altercation before meeting Victor that causes her to lose the jacket. As for Victor, I think he's the hooded guy from the hotel scene, the one who hurts the man while Grace is with her mother in the flashback. One more important thing to note is that Victor seems to have been experimenting on himself in some way, or he could already be sick. In the photo of him standing with other scientists, he really sticks out and visibly looks infected. This might be why he needs Grace. Maybe the daylight in her DNA is the key to curing his infection, or completing it. We'll get to that later. Moving on, the next scene immediately hits us with a familiar voice for longtime fans. The voice sounds exactly like Sherry Birkin from Resident Evil 6. There's no confirmation yet, and it's one of those things we won't know until the full game, but man, it really sounds like her. If it does end up being Sherry, I think that'd be really cool. She's talking to someone while the scene shows a crime scene at the rail yards. She then mentions a police officer who went missing near the location of the fifth dead body. In the visuals, we see Grace talking to a cop, who is most likely the missing officer. Next, we see a disturbing scene of a man coughing up blood and teeth into his hands. There's no real context given here, but I think this is showing someone who's becoming infected with whatever this new virus is. My guess is that this virus causes people to decay or deteriorate over time. Right after that, we hear Victor narrating. He talks about Elpis, which we also see labeled on a classified document on a computer screen. I believe Elpis is the name of the new virus. Victor seems to need Grace to complete it, and when he talks about setting it free, I think he means releasing it into the world and causing a full outbreak. We then get a scene of Grace pointing a gun at Victor, visibly shaken, followed by another scene of her running and hiding from him while he screams for her. This really shows just how terrified Grace is. She's almost completely petrified by this scary, unhinged madman. Now comes the moment we've all been waiting for. The familiar voice, again possibly Sherry, says that Victor purchased a building and she's sending the address. We see a car pull up to the care center. A woman says that Victor is expecting whoever just arrived. The badass music kicks in, the car door opens, a foot steps out. And then there he is. Leon S. Kennedy, our boy, the GOAT, is back. I'm gonna need you guys to... After all the speculation, Leon is finally shown, and he looks rugged and a lot older, but honestly he looks great for his age. They're clearly using his remake model, which is no surprise, but they updated his look in a way that's heavily inspired by Resident Evil 4. Instead of the brown jacket, he's wearing a black one with belt straps, and he just looks insanely cool. And just when you think they couldn't make him look any better, the devs absolutely cooked. They even slightly updated his hair without losing his iconic look. The crime scene from earlier, the one with the cop cars, was Leon investigating. That's why I think it'd be really cool if Sherry is actually the one on the comms talking to him. Leon is back in Raccoon City and Sherry could be working alongside him. That does raise some questions though, like where's Hunnigan and why would Sherry take a desk job after the events of Resident Evil 6? Hunnigan could have gotten promoted after Simmons was defeated and exposed in RE6. Whatever the case, I hope we get some explanations in the full game. Another thing I don't want to forget to mention is that Leon is driving around in a Porsche. The license plate reads ND equals 9642, which references all the mainline games Leon has appeared in. I'm not sure what the ND stands for, so let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. We also see Leon driving past the Welcome to Raccoon City sign later. This Porsche is also confirmed to be officially sponsored in-game, which means we'll probably be seeing a lot of it. I even think there's a small chance it might be drivable. Like, just imagine, wouldn't it be insane if we could be driving around in a Porsche as Leon completing investigations? It's also confirmed that Leon is the one who saves Grace from the big monster lady at the end of the demo. In the demo, Grace is attacked and almost dragged into the darkness, but now we see Leon shows up and saves her with a huge magnum. Most likely the same one we saw Grace holding in the other trailer. It's also confirmed that Leon doesn't know who Grace is. He even asks why the FBI is involved, so their meeting is purely coincidental. A few scenes later, we see Leon brutally taking down Infected using a survival hatchet. Then we get that epic over-the-shoulder title screenshot of Leon, which just makes him look even cooler, but it doesn't stop there. We're shown a talking Infected telling Leon to calm down. This Infected has the same strange eyes that Victor appears to have in the photo Leon finds earlier. We also see those same eyes in another photo earlier on. The Infected in the game have weird color eyes, black mouths, and black liquid oozing from them. Another detail about the infection is that it leaves black scarring on the hands, face, and possibly the body. We see this in a brief scene where Leon is looking at the computer. And here's something really interesting. Leon himself might be infected. In the scene with the talking Infected, Leon delivers a great one-liner, but if you look closely at the right side of his neck, you can see black markings similar to the infection. If Leon is infected, we might be dealing with a situation similar to Resident Evil 4, a race against time to find a cure, assuming there even is one. Let's hope there is. The talking Infected then revs up a chainsaw and starts swinging it around, which leads into some Leon gameplay. And this is where all my worries were put to rest. We get confirmation of Leon's melee kicks, intense action, and even the ability to use the chainsaw. We went from being the ones getting mowed down to doing the mowing ourselves. We also see a new execution where Leon completely blows an Infected's head off with his gun. The reason this mattered to me is because earlier gameplay focused mostly on Grace, and there was footage shown on Japanese TV that looked closer to the Resident Evil 2 remake gameplay. Since the game comes out in just 2 months, I was worried Leon might not play like RE4. But now it's confirmed Leon has full-on RE4 style action combat and the enemies are clearly designed to match that. We also get a look at Leon's UI for health and weapons, which looks very similar to Resident Evil 4. I fully expect him to have the RE4 inventory system as well. One major difference though is that instead of a knife, Leon now uses a survival hatchet. The hatchet has a durability meter just like the knife in RE4, which makes me think the hatchet might fully replace the knife. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The knife is iconic, especially for RE4 Leon. Maybe we'll have both and be able to choose which one to equip. I do think the hatchet could still be really cool though. I also wonder if it can be used to parry. We'll have to wait and see during the gameplay showcase. My guess is that the gameplay showcase will happen in January since the game drops in February. Hopefully. One last thing I want to mention is based on this trailer, the game's story structure feels very similar to Revelations. It looks like we'll be switching back and forth between Grace and Leon, with both characters having multiple playable sections. With all that being said, I can confidently say I'm extremely excited for this game. It's easily my most anticipated game of next year. It's shaping up to be an insane game, and it genuinely feels like we've barely scratched the surface of what this game will offer. Let me know your thoughts on this trailer in the comments and how you're feeling about Resident Evil Requiem. Hopefully I'll see you guys next month for the gameplay showcase.